Ted, what's up? Welcome back to the States. Want to give you an update here of where we are, what updates we're looking at making. When you test with us, we can discuss, what your thoughts are and implement those features or those updates as well. Basic, headset features that you need to know, and then basic controls, and then get you ready to test with us here. So. Here's the menu of our app when we load it up. Okay, you can decrease and increase it by this little button here. Okay, controller. You see the VR controller not lined up. Again, you'll see that lined up when you put your headset on. The camera doesn't grab it lined up as it is in my world here. The trigger is right here. Bumpers in the top. Okay. This is the control. This is the pad. You don't really need to use this too much. Menu button, home button. Okay, so you just click the laser or the ray anywhere you want to move something like this. The green button here. Hold the trigger down, and then you can move it anywhere you want in space. Okay, make it bigger, smaller, and so forth. I can close the app down, keep it running by the home button. Okay, this brings us back here. And your basic controls here on the left-hand side. Your power button, to shut it off and so forth. Wi-Fi right from here. I've got my mobile hotspot connected, as you can see right here. Okay, that's probably what you're going to mostly use. Global dimming, you'll use. So you're not going to see the global dimming with the camera view, but obviously you'll see it with the headset on. So during bright days. Highlights, things like that. You can't, it's easier to dim it. You can just slide the sky back here. It lightens it, darkens the background. Okay, so you can better see what, the VR ball and the court and so forth like that. There's an it auto does it, but you can manually override this if on bright sunny days. Okay, the Spaces app. So if you click on the Spaces app, we've been going through the last week or so. We rewrote about the court stability. We've rewritten the code again. We're having trouble keeping the court stable while you're moving around in the AR space without using the Spaces app. So Magic Leap wants everybody to use the Spaces app. Basically, it's mapping the space that you're in. Okay, which allows us to set the spatial anchors and keeps things stable. It's better using this. It's not perfect. There's new updates coming up, I think, all the time now that Justin and so forth are telling us that we can utilize to keep things more stable in space. But it's a big space, the tennis court is. So there's the strategies we've figured out here to keep it best stable in the return or serve process. So you have to use a Spaces app. This will actually localize and save your space. Now, I don't have to map the entire court. That would take a lot of time. All I mapped out was, if I click on this here, this will show you. All I mapped on these little particles is what I mapped. I bet about 8 feet behind the baseline, which is what the wall is here. Okay, to about maybe 3-4 feet inside, maybe 5 feet inside or so. The baseline here. So I'm basically just mapping this return or serve area, and then where the cones are at the corners that hold those spatial anchors. I didn't go any further than this 3/4 court mark. I didn't go all the way on the court. That takes too much time. There's these, when you load the app, you'll see there's these waypoints basically that you'll go into and just walk around and just turn around in a circle, and it maps the space. It happens pretty quickly. This is probably 12 or so. Maybe it took me 2 minutes. So it's not crazy, but again, not mapping the entire court. So I can just go back to the menu. I want to open this up when I go to set up the court again. I initially would scan the court, save it, I can name it, whatever. When you're back in this space, like court 14, I'm on court 14 now, then it finds your space and it saves those settings. You don't have to redo it every time. So I'm going to keep this open. It's going to find the localized space. Then I'm going to open up the app here. Okay, right from here. So I go to the return to serve app. This is us. Calibrate. I click on the trigger to calibrate, and it brings up this court direction. I'm going to put this guy right in the middle of the court. I'm just using the controller, holding the trigger down, and then just moving it around. I'm going to make it pretty close. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, I'm going to spawn the court in its minimized form. I'm going to scale it full court here. I'm going to move this up for a second. It's pretty close. Now, I can use these 3D buttons here to push this down. So we combined different technologies to align the court. This is the older system, but I'll tell you what the changes we've done. So we're going to push this down here, make it pretty close. I'm going to move this to the left, okay? And I actually can move this back. I can hold this and move these corners wherever I want to with this ray. So we've used a couple different technologies. So the original technology we had was basically you're putting a virtual court over the live court, the physical court, trying to match up all the lines, which got a little bit crazy. And then we're trying to take into account the different slopes and different angles of the tennis court, which they're all different. So what we did is we went with this system where it's a transparent court. So this is just a transparent hard court, blue court that lays over. So we don't have to worry about lines being off an inch or two different courts. We don't really care. We're just going to outline the rectangle around the court. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy here, make that a bit liner. We are at ground level now. We weren't before. We were around 3 inches above. We're at ground level now, which is awesome. Okay, with this new system, I'm going to put it right there. This is pretty well lined up. All I'm really going to worry about really that much is these southeast and southwest cones. This is where the ball's coming over. Okay, I'm going to land in these boxes based on these corners here. Okay, I can move this around if I want to, but I don't really have to be too crazy on it if I don't want to do that. I can just basically line it up pretty well and let it go from there. Okay, I can move this one around as well if I want to and get pretty close. Okay, once I find that where I want it set, I'm going to lock it. Okay, that's gonna take off these 3D buttons. I can hide it with this menu button right from here, and then my court is set up pretty square. Okay, and it's pretty stable. As you can see, the southeast corner really doesn't move at all as I'm walking around the court. Southwest corner, it's moving a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 inches, but it's acceptable at this point. So if I want to return into the ad court, I move over to this ad court here. Okay, I'm in the ad court staying. This is pretty stable in the southeast, pretty stable in the southwest. Okay, court from there. What I can do is I can disable this court as well later. We'll add that back in to disable it. Actually, let's unlock this. I'm going to toggle the court off, lock it again. Boom, I disabled it now. So now I just have this orange bar, orange baseline. I just have the outline court right from there. I can turn this back on if I unlock it, toggle back on, lock it again to set the anchors. I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to work in this backhand corner. I'm going to click on next. Brings up the players I have in the system, all the UTRs. Top player center. We can make this top 10 player or something, top 20 player, whatever you want. But top player is actually center, so we hit that. Okay. Add court. I can pick where I want to these map serves. So we mapped all the serves out in the hard grass and clay. So I can click on grass. It actually changes it green for me. Puts the green here. So I'm in grass. We know that. Clay puts it as a red clay. Okay. Change this as well. We're going to go back to hard court. We've replicated from YouTube video Sinner's movement, and then create an avatar for the second serve, for the kick serve to the ad side right now. We've got the other avatars being created. We wanted to move this into space so that we can see how it works, see how you like it, okay, and we can clean up some of the body movements as we go. But we wanted to get an example of the avatar actually contacting the ball, syncing up the contact points, okay, and going through that process, bringing it to the AR world versus the 3D world, which is a little bit complicated, but we figured that process out, and we can bring the other ones in, you know, the flat serve, slice serve to the, and so forth to the ad induced court. We've got to create different, since there's slightly different tosses and positions on the court that people, the center and all those different stand on the ad induced court. Tosses are different for the kick, slice, and kick slice and flat serve. So we're going to create different avatars for each of them that we're going to spin up accordingly. So add court, body, second, kick, boom, gives us the results here. I'm going to have multi-ball. This is the ball tracing. You can see the ball path. Okay, if I click on any of these serves here under normal, click on this guy here, I see the avatar center here. Boom, ball comes out the kick serve. We have him positioned in the add corner here. This is the avatar. It's a generic avatar created, but it's actually centers body movements based on a YouTube video we created that we found. So if you can click on this here, you'll see him fire up. Boom, contact goes right from there. The body motion isn't perfect. We know that. It's pretty close to the first go on this, but we'll clean this up and make it a bit better as we pull these in. I can I can enable the VR racket here off the controller. This will also enable the physics, and will also enable sounds, the sound effects as you contact, as the avatar contacts. So I click this again now. We have a sound at the contact point from center, bounce, and then when you contact itself, it actually goes as well. So if I show you that, boom. Okay, so we have contact point and then rebound off the court as well. So if it lands in the court, you see a rebound. Okay, and a sound, bang, just like that. Okay. Racket mount, we have it set this way because this is set to be on a racket like this, which actually lines up. We had a couple mounts 3D printed. They're getting too heavy. They're getting too cumbersome here, and they're blocking these eyes. We actually see back to the headset to communicate the alignment and so forth from there. So this it follows pretty well without the mounted. We can talk about that when we get on the phone. I think what we're going to do is, assuming that you like the progress so far, okay, which I think you will, and then we may just go ahead and build and develop the sensors through Movi sensor, I believe it's called, that connect. They're an open system that we can grab the gyroscopes from, and we can actually mount that right on the racket. And from there, we can actually have the VR racket lay over the racket. You don't need the controller, okay? And you actually just use your physical racket with a little sensor on top of it. And we actually can grab spin data and contact points and all kinds of other stuff from that as well. But obviously the physics can be tied to that. We may just go that direction and just get that done. It's way more realistic than trying to mount this on. But for the testing purposes and initial testing with pros, I'll show you in the next video tomorrow how I've rigged up this to be on the racket. We have a platform that sits right here that I can actually put rubber bands and put it on, and it's not terrible. So we'll work on that with you. You can test with pros and stuff initially, and we may go ahead and just develop the sensor and just get that done. So I can hide this with a bumper right from here. All the other serves are tied in here as well, but the avatar we only pulled in for the add side kick. So if I want to go back, I can go to Clay. Let's figure him out as well. Okay, boom. I'll add the sound effects in from here. Boom. Gets up. Okay, so I can give this a real go. I mean, the racket angle is a little bit off, but let's give it a backhand go here. Whoop, up there. Boom. Okay. When you try this, give us a feedback on rebound. Boom, there you go. Rebound speed and so forth. All those can be adjusted, but we've got it pretty dialed in, we think. Boom. Okay, I'm obviously off a little bit with this racket angle. Try a different serve. All these are tied in. This got up. Boom, that got up there. This one got up. Look how high this guy gets up here. Body kick, boom, misses above. Look at it, peaks at the baseline. I mean, I'm like 5'10", 5'10"-ish, 5'11" maybe. So it's like 6 foot above the court. That's crazy. If I take a look at this individual, okay. Again, so the stability when I lock this down, it's not bad. I'm walking around the court. It's pretty stable. I didn't map. This is actually moving because I didn't map this side of the space. Oop. Let me get the menu back here.